Do you support Common Core? Your view on education, as stated in your essay, it was an essay the mayor wrote on the need for property tax relief, which I believe is a misleading essay. Your view on education, as stated in your essay, I believe implies that you would like education to be funded either statewide via the income tax or by issuing more bonds. Am I correct? Is it one or the other or both? If you believe that issuing more bonds is the answer, as you might predict, I would be against this because New Jersey already has the highest debt per capita in the nation. And in light of Detroit's going bankrupt officially, I think we need to realize that bonds run the risk of not being so attractive. But not only that, it really is worth reiterating that when we already have the highest debt per capita, we should be thinking about how to reduce debt, at least, not to grow it even more. I know you view debt as financial planning and investment in the future, but even in that perspective, if you owe more money than everybody else in your industry, like New Jersey as compared to every other state in the country, and you're not paying back or showing promise that you will be paying back at such a rate which will reduce your debt, at least compared to others in your industry, or let's say every other state in the country, that makes you less attractive. If you believe that raising the income tax rate is a good idea, I would argue that that's not real tax relief, that it merely transfers the property tax to the income tax. But I do know that New Jersey Democrats are working specifically towards increasing the income tax for the state's wealthiest. This is, in my opinion, classist and resentful. Why should somebody be penalized just because they are successful? Mind you that I ask you this as a guy who makes only $9.15 an hour, some 27 hours a week, and is running for political office not merely as an underdog but as a third-party candidate. In other words, it isn't as if protecting New Jersey's wealthiest is helping me and my income and my well-being in any way. I consider myself a fair representative of New Jersey's lower class, and in that capacity I'm insulted at the prospect of essentially stealing from the rich for my children's education. Beyond the fact that it is classist and resentful, I think it is fair to bring up the issue of rights. Doesn't a person have the right to make as much money as he or she can? And if a person has that right, they of course have the right to do whatever they want with the money they earn. If you would argue that people do not have this right, on what basis do you make that argument? Is your basis that it's not fair? If that is your argument, what do you find to be more fair? The right to be poor but make as much money as you can, or to be forced into shared poverty? I trust that even if you embrace certain socialist-ish views, you ultimately prefer living in America over living in China or Cuba. And I trust that you hold that preference because you value the right of personal achievement, even if your achievement happens to be more impressive than the achievements of someone else. So I would like to close by again thanking you for your response and by again asking, do you honestly believe that education should be socialized and controlled by the federal government? And do you believe, honestly, that the federal government should be allowed to impose unfunded mandates on the state of New Jersey. I know that you do not believe that the state of New Jersey should impose unfunded mandates on municipalities. And I do trust that you are consistent on this issue of unfunded mandates. Thanks again. Sincerely, Sean O'Connor. And that's the latest on the correspondence between the Mayor of East Windsor, Janice Mironov, and I. I hope that you will share this video with your friends and help them get more educated on the issue of property taxes in New Jersey and the issue of Common Core. And by the way, this is not an issue that is just special to New Jersey, because Common Core has been adopted in 45 states in America, and that means unfunded mandates on municipalities in 45 states of America. And so I encourage you all to support any legislation that abolishes Common Core, and I would encourage you also all to support any legislation that at the very least freezes your property tax rate and your municipal and school board and county spending, and state spending and federal spending. And it would also ask that if you happen to live in New Jersey in the 14th District, that you vote for me. My name is Sean O'Connor, if you didn't know, and my running mates Don DeZarn and Steve Usio for New Jersey Legislature. And if you don't happen to live in our district, as I've said in other videos, we really don't mind your support. In fact, we'd love it. We would absolutely love it. Because we want to change this state, we want to change this country. Thank you so much for your time. God bless.